All right, guys. Well, welcome back. Let's just jump straight into our FM 17 adventure. So, our opponent today is going to be Erkheim, which is, I just looked it up, another municipality in a pretty rural part of southern Germany that has about 3,000 something people. You got to love all of that. We are major favorites to win since they have no manager. Again, looking here at the competitions, we're still in 7th place. We could potentially leapfrog Siemensshausen if we were to win and if our goal differential would improve a little bit. So we'll see if we can get there or not. We kind of want to move up one step at a time. As I said before, there's an outside chance we could hit one of these two top spots before the season's over. It's not very likely since we lost to Dinkelschauben now twice this season. As far as Erkheim are concerned, we actually lost to them the first time we played them 3-1. So we'll see if we have any more luck this time around or not. We'll go ahead and let's take a look and see whatever changes it is that they wanted us to make. And so we've made them. We have Kutsu there playing as the target man instead of the poacher. So I don't know. We'll go with that. We'll sort of see what happens. By the way, in terms of like rule ability and stuff, I'm not sure if I fully trust any of that because these guys who have like no stars tend to actually play pretty well. The big difference is we have Patrick Eckel back in the back. This is probably because someone is suspended, and yeah, Rausch is suspended. Too many yellow cards, I think it was. So we'll see if that works out for us well or not. By the way, this guy, Søren Eggersglus, was supposed to be our big defender in the back. He was injured like right after the save started, so so much for that. But I've held on to him even though I probably should just release him. I think he's got like 2 or 3 months left to go before his injury is over and he's fully recovered. Anyway, so we'll get straight back into this. We are in blue today. It can be very, very confusing to figure out what color we are. We are in blue, not in red, because before we would be in red. But since this is a home match, we're actually in blue. Let's see if we can get some sort of attack going on here in the early parts. Just the very, very early stretches of this game. As usual, we have a lot of the possession. Brouwer tried another one of those famous free kicks. Tried a shot on goal and missed everything as usual. That's part of the Bobingen tradition. It's always about Brouwer missing everything with a crazy shot from nowhere. Yilmaz is telling me is persistently fouling today. Brouwer tries it again and doesn't get anywhere again. So we need to stop the persistent fouling, and what we need to do is actually try to create something. They have a throw, and this has led to a cross, but Özko is able to head it out. We were able just to get it out of the box, which is good, but they still have a whole bunch of men here in an attacking position, and they have the ball, which is a problem. Sander, however, does a great job to win that, passes to Brouwer, and he feeds this forward for Kutsu. He's all alone over there, and it takes a shot, and it's saved, but he did a very, very good job of getting by 2 men to get to that on time. Now we have a corner. It'll be Brouwer taking this, and this ends up being headed away, and that'll be the end of that. I think we're going to take a look here at Kutsu and at the job that he did. Sander did a good job winning that, and it was to Brouwer who had a great sense of vision there to find Kutsu in between 2 defenders, and it required a good save to stop him, but the good save was there. So we're about a half hour into this match, still no score, and Indri ends up knocking that one over everybody's head, and so they are not able to score in the end. We could use a goal here. If we could get a goal, it would be very, very helpful for us. Flyig takes it from Lehmann, back to Lehmann. Lehmann up to Kutsu. Kutsu to Brouwer. Brouwer looking forward, and he's fouled by Peter Heinloth. And we'll see if this ends up being a card or not. It does. It's a yellow card for Heinloth. And Brouwer will take another one of these free kick shots. You know what's going to happen. And it's the same thing as always. He ends up kicking it over to the stands. You would think that we would like work on that in training, but apparently we're not working on it very much. And so here we are at the halftime with nothing having taken place. So we're only about 4 minutes into the video. And remember, I was talking for the first 2. So I'm not sure if this is a great sign or not. Smayak with the ball now, looking forward. And he's fouled right away. So this has been a match of many, many fouls, and 12 for us, 11 for them. And it's been kind of an ugly match so far. Lehmann, he can't get the pass to Sander, and Saunders called for the foul, and he's sent off. He went in apparently with 2 feet on that one, and you just can't do that. And so Saunders surprisingly gets himself sent off. And let's take a look at this here. Yeah, I mean, it's a ridiculous tackle. Absolutely awful tackle by Sander, and that gets him a straight red card. And so I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to do something like that, and we'll go with 10 men from here on out and see if our quality can see us through. A draw here is not the end of the world, but we don't want to lose. If we lose, then we feel really, really bad, and that might hurt our ability to get promoted, at least this season. Of course, it's ridiculous to think that we're going to be promoted this season, but we almost gave up a goal there, so it was about to absolutely not happen. So Sander, I'm not quite sure what was going on in his head, but he committed one of the most ridiculous fouls I've seen so far this season, and we got really, really lucky here that we didn't give up a goal. That was really poor defending, and we're starting to look a little bit like we are going to concede a goal. And they have another cross in there, but Özkal is able to knock it away over to Brouwer, and we're looking for that counterattack. Brouwer up to Smajic. Smajic is looking down for Kutsu, and I don't think he sees him. He had him for a second there, and he ends up having to knock it over to Brouwer again. This is another good position. Actually, we can still counter it to Mikhail. Nobody guarding him, and we have one fewer player than they do, so who knows what was going on there. Back to Yilmaz. Yilmaz over to Brouwer. Brouwer, and see, we still have good position and good numbers. Flaig forward to Kutsu. Kutsu takes a shot. That's an ill-advised shot. That's not the distance he wants to be shooting from, and so we end up with a corner in the end of that, which is okay. Brouwer knocks it forward to Eckel, and Eckel can't do much with it. This is where we miss Rausch. Brouwer, however, wins it again against all odds, but and they're able to take it off of him, but it's Lehmann at the back who's able to keep it in. It looks like we still have 11 men, even though we only have 10. Özkal with this, and that's the end of that highlight. At some point in time, Kutsu was offside, so whatever happened there, we didn't get a chance to see. Lehmann brings this up now, right side over to Flaig to Brouwer. Brouwer down to Smajic over to Kutsu, which is basically how the tactic's supposed to work. And it ends up not working out very well at all, and they have another attack. Fuchel ends up going over to save that one. That shot would have never been able to go in from a very, very awkward angle, but Fuchel, instead of taking the goal kick, decides to save it. So interesting decision. And then I think we're supposed to see a replay of something, but we didn't see it in the end. Brouwer ends up winning this over to Smajic. Smajic forward, nope, it goes back to Brouwer behind him. Brouwer now looking for Kutsu. Does get it to him in the end and ends up missing him. Flaig had a chance, but it was taken away by Anderson in the end. So much for that thought. It's going to be Ndri who's behind the defense, but his shot is up and over everybody's head. He was, I think, only a couple inches away from scoring, and we'll take another look at that one. So we do have this problem with being exposed here at the back, and you can see the problem is that I think this tactic is set up to have us have a high line, and every once in a while you end up giving up something like that in the back. So we're about 75 minutes into this match so far. It's really picked up. The first half wasn't much. Brouwer wins this off his man over to Smajic, down to Mikhail. Mikhail up to Lehmann, and you can see Kutsu trying to win himself free. There's the Kutsu, and he passes it back to Yilmaz, and we're going to try to set it up again from the left side now. Yilmaz, and it's blocked right away, and Yilmaz careful not to foul since he's already got a yellow card, and we're already down a man. Passes over to Tim Mikhail, over to Flaig. Flaig now looking to push it forward, ends up going over to Lehmann. Lehmann down to Brouwer, here we go. Brouwer back to Lehmann. We're inching forward, and then Lehmann tries to center it, ends up hitting off of the post, and it was hitting off the far post. It was an absolutely crazy pass, and I'm not sure that he even knew what he was doing with that. Smajic now over to Mikhail to Flaig, and Flaig takes the shot, and it hits off of the defender, and that's sort of the end of that. Eckel tries to keep it back in, but only ends up finding an opposition player. Eckel's not quite good enough, I think, to play for this team, honestly. I've not been very impressed with him in the few times that we've seen him play. And once again, we have a replay that didn't actually show. Oh, now we're getting a replay, but it was of nothing. There are a couple of issues with the replay system here in FM 2017, just so you know. So that happens every once in a while. Let's see if we can get the ball off of them here. and it looks like they've got a some sort of attack building up here, and we're having a hard time getting the ball off of them. It's Eckel in the end who finally makes the header that sort of saves us, but he's only found another one of their players, so this is going to be problematic. Lehmann in the end ends up stepping up and knocking that over into touch. So Erkheim with a kind of a rare attack for them here in this match, it's the shot by I'm not sure how to say his name, but is just off of the mark. It's amazing. They don't have a single shot on target in this match. We only have 2. That's the sort of match that this has been. That was Eckel again giving up possession very, very quickly and then misplaying his man. Fuchel makes the save. That's the first shot on target for Erkheim. So, yeah, we're having a rough time of it now. 10 minutes left in this match, and we're looking like we might wind up conceding. Brouwer, however, takes that out of the attacking zone, finds Kutsu, and I think we have a counterattack set up here. We don't have enough numbers, I think, but Kutsu, and he ends up getting fouled, and that's the end of that. Now we got to go look at this replay again. So this was a really poor pass there by Eckel. I liked the thought, but he didn't really aim that one well, and it ended up with that shot and a good save by Fuchel. And that was the end of that highlight. Looks like Erkheim are going to attack again, but Özkil is able to win off his man. Here's Kutsu all alone behind the defense. There are a couple of men who catch up with him now. He takes a shot and wins the corner. So we still only have 2 shots on target in this match, and they have done a very, very good job defensively in trying to keep us from being able to attack and get anything happening. Brouwer there after that corner looked like he wanted to try to kick it back in, but the ball kind of went under his legs. So not a great job there by Brouwer. And there's another free kick by him, and that one goes off target once again. I'm not going to worry too much about those free kicks because we're at the the 7th tier of the ladder. So usually we're not going to have a lot of great things happen here. We would remain in 7th place with a draw today, and it looks increasingly like this is what's going to end up happening. Lehmann, who at some point in time picked up a yellow card, ends up knocking that out for a throw. We got about 1 minute of regulation time left, and looks like 2 minutes of additional time. And it's Ndri there scoring the goal. He got behind the defense. And so Erkheim ends up scoring a goal somewhat against the run of play. I don't know if you really can say that, though. That's their 2nd shot on target. We've also only had 2. We've had a lot of possession, but we haven't had a lot of attacking. And this is just a mistake there. I think it's by Eckel. I think it is by Eckel. And yeah, it's Eckel making the mistake down there, and Ndri scores, and this is not going to wind up very, very well for us. We would remain in 7th place with a loss here, but it means that our hopes for trying to get promoted are probably going to wind up being dashed, at least this season. But there are reinforcements coming. We do have a couple of players coming in the winter transfer. I usually don't like doing a whole ton of transfers, and we're going to try not to do too many of them in the save. But we had to at the beginning because we didn't have enough players to actually play with. And Football Manager is not fun with grayed out players. Pass over to Kutsu and to Smajic from Fuchel. Real aggressive as we're trying to get a draw out of this. Here's Lehmann moving up the right side, and he finds Flaig over to Brouwer. Brouwer down, and the pass was, I think, intended for Smajic and didn't ever really find him. And so we're running out of time. We're running out of seconds. They have played a very, very good defensive match against us. Mikhail now with the ball. Tim Mikhail over on the left side finds Kutsu running in front of him. No, he doesn't. That doesn't quite get to him in the end. And that's sort of the end of that. Well, I think we're finally going to see a replay of something or other here. And this was Fuchel with after making the simple save, then he made the pass. We didn't see the interesting part of that, so there really wasn't much to see there. I'm not sure why he gave us that. Eckel knocks this one forward, it finds nobody, and that's it, and there's a full-time whistle. So Bobingen have lost. Sander was sent off, and it didn't play very well at all. Eckel, I would say, he got a 7.1 rating, but I don't think that he played particularly well in the back. And of course, Brouwer, Kutsu, Smajic, they didn't really do much of anything at all. So we told them that we should have won that match, and that's pretty much the end of that. Our key player, it's telling us, was Brouwer, but he didn't really do anything interesting, and he committed 3 fouls. So it was kind of an ugly match, not really one that you want to write home about, and this is going to make it all the more hard for us to move up the ladder. So anyway, there you go. A little bit disappointing here this time around. We'll try to do another one of these today, though, and see if we have a little bit more luck then. So thanks for watching. I'll talk with you later. Bye.